threat, it turns out that the president was going to fire him. He made it to the end. Joining us now, Derschowitz, noted attorney, author as well. Alan, your thoughts as we get to the end of this investigation?
Well, I don't think anybody should come to final conclusions even after they read the whole report. We have to wait to see what the response is from not only the White House, but from President Trump's legal team. Remember, this is an adversarial report. It's one-sided. It's only evidence that's exculpatory. Special counsel, who are prosecutors, don't look at all the evidence. They don't invite witnesses who are favorable to the president or evidence that's favorable to the president. So my preference would have been not even to release the report until the Trump team had an opportunity to file a 10 or 15-page response and then release them simultaneously. But the pressure from the media and from Congress is such that I think the report will be released first. But I urge Americans, Democrats or Republicans, to withhold final judgment until they hear the other side of the story. That's what our adversary system is all about. Listen to both sides before you come to any conclusions. Remember, this is one-sided. No matter how fair the investigation was, and it seems like it might have been a very fair investigation, no leaks, it is a prosecutorial document presenting only one side. We have to wait to see what the Trump defense team comes up with in terms of documents, evidence, witnesses. Remember, too, that the witnesses against President Trump or against the administration have not been subject to cross-examination. That's why we have trials. This is more like an indictment than like a conclusion based on hearing all the evidence.
Just seeing that senior Department of Justice officials, Alan, say the Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein called Special Counsel Mueller around 4:30 to thank him for his work. We're told the White House was aware that the report had landed at 4:45 and Congress soon thereafter. When you hear a senior Department of Justice official tell reporters that this report does not recommend any more indictments, what do you take from that?
Well, I take from it that we may still see indictments coming out of the Southern District of New York or Washington or Virginia. We may see actually in this report a roadmap for other and further investigations by U.S. attorneys' offices, by Congress. What we see is there are no further indictments, unless there are sealed ones, from the special counsel himself. I think that's very significant, but that doesn't mean that the president's problems are over. But I do think that if the report does conclude, as the president has said, that there's no collusion and there's no obstruction of justice, it will really take the wind out of the attack on the president himself, though many of his colleagues are still now facing indictment, sentencing, imprisonment. So I think we'll see some more in continuation of investigations, particularly by Congress, but even that may come to an end because there will be court cases challenging the authority of Congress to conduct investigation after investigation if it doesn't relate to any legislative purpose.
What about this argument about process crimes, understanding that they are crimes and that they, and the indictments we've seen and the people who have been brought forward, Michael Flynn, George Papadopoulos, we haven't seen the end of the Michael Flynn situation, others, that they were not hiding crimes. In other words, they lied to investigators, but from what we understand, there were not crimes behind it. What about that for people to digest?
Well, what I've seen, and again I haven't read the report, is that the only indictments that have come out are either Category 1, crimes that allegedly occurred before this administration came to office, Manafort, crimes that related to things unrelated to the administration, taxi medallions, Cohen, one indictment involving Russia, but they'll never get those people to trial, so that's really a show indictment in some ways. And then finally, the process crimes. Every investigation produces process crimes. Because people lie, they obstruct witnesses, they do all of the things. These are crimes that are generated, not caused, but generated by the investigation itself. They're serious crimes, but you don't appoint a special counsel in order to prosecute process crimes. You appoint a special counsel to prosecute or investigate substantive crimes relating to collusion. And on that, unless we see something dramatic in this report, this special counsel has not come up with very much.